Show me.
I'm the martial arts film freak, and I watched The Legacy of Lies.
We're here because of your tete-a-tete with that Cuban port.
Need you to pack your stuff, Liz.
Why is it always...
I haven't got time to argue with you. Just pack your stuff.
Martin Baxter, ex-spy with a troubled soul. I want the files and the reporter. Dead or alive, I don't care.
The Russians have got Lisa and they're gonna kill her. Try and get the case to them by 10 p.m. tonight. She's dead.
Do you know what we're up against, right?
Legacy of Lies is a 2020 film directed by Adrian Bole, starring Scott Adkins, a couple people whose names I need to read, and a couple who I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Honor Neefsey. You've got Martin McDougall and Leon Sua, and then here are the people whose names contain many vowels that I will not try to pronounce because I already struggle enough on this channel. Somehow European names are scarier than Asian names. Legacy of Lies follows Scott Adkins as an ex-MI6 agent who is dragged back into the life of espionage and sort of crime and whatnot when his past comes back to haunt him and he's forced to track down a MacGuffin that he failed to recover many years ago. On one side, he's got MI6 and the CIA on his ass. On the other side, he's got, I think, the Russians or someone with a really thick accent who has now kidnapped his daughter and he's forced to do something for them while also trying to stay away from the people who speak English, and he's just kind of in a rut. I had a hard time with this movie, to be honest, and it's this weird thing where the story itself is not really doing much for me, but the characters, most of the characters, are actually quite endearing, and I enjoy how they all bounce off of each other and they all work together. The characters are in something that I want to be better. I enjoyed the relationship between Scott Adkins and his daughter, where he is sort of this beaten down man, like just internally, and he doesn't really care much for his own safety, but he cares for his daughters, and so he's taking these MMA fights. Whoa. He's taking these MMA fights, and he's got his daughter betting on them, and his daughter does all the research on the other fighters. It seems like she's like this expert on just fighting. She knows all of someone's stats and how they operate, and he doesn't take her advice when she tells him how to fight, and he gets his ass kicked because he just doesn't care. They have this sort of splintered relationship, even though he really does want the best for her. He's also like just doesn't trust anybody because I guess since he was an MI6, he knows how the inside operates, and he just is trying to stay off the grid. But I enjoyed their relationship. I also enjoyed the relationship of the Russian woman who kidnaps the daughter and the daughter. Like, they bounced off each other really well, and sometimes they were some of the most enjoyable parts of the movie. Scott Adkins and this one character whose name I don't remember because it has all the vowels in it, I think, they also work really well together. Let me see her name. The Yulia Sabol character. That character. The character that in many scenes of the film looks a lot like Amy Johnston from Accident Man. But the one character that really didn't do much for me, and he's probably one reason why the plot didn't really do much, was the Martin McDougall character, this CIA or MI6 character who he is on the good side, but he's just a dick, and he's supposed to be threatening a lot, and just something about his character wasn't Martin McDougall's fault. Just the way the character was written, anytime he was on screen, I thought he was dragging it down. But because I thought most of the characters actually worked really well together within this story that I didn't much care for, the ending actually had a lot of payoffs that I enjoyed. There were about 2 or 3 or maybe 4 payoffs between characters that were actually pretty satisfying. Into the action. The action in this movie is a bit weird. There's not much of it. It's very sparse. It's spread out. There is one major fight scene in the middle, but you get sort of this MMA fight in the beginning, and then you get some small sprinkles with one larger fight scene packed in the middle. And the MMA fight is really cool because you're used to seeing Adkins, be the Boyka character. When he's in these like sanctioned fights, he is unstoppable. He is Boyka, the most complete fighter in the world. That's not him in this. In this, he is incompetent and doesn't give 2 shits about his own safety, and just gets his ass kicked. He can fight, he can take care of himself when he tries, when it's a life or death situation, but in this situation where it's like a cage fight with some random dude in a basement, just gets his ass kicked. There are sprinkles of action that it's sort of like this mix between like a Bourne choreography style with John Wick, while you still get the touches of the Tim Mann, Scott Adkins partnership in the choreography. That was a lot of fun. You get that bit of grappling with the hand-to-hand gun stuff. That stuff was really cool to watch, even though there was really not a lot of it. But the big fight scene here was an excellent brawl with Leon Sua. These two have this excellent fight that is just everything. It is grappling, it is hand-to-hand, you get a few flashy kicks, but that's not really who the character is, so Scott Adkins just kind of gets one or two of those in there because it's Scott Adkins, but you really almost get everything you want within this fight scene. It's not super long, it's only probably 4 or 5 minutes, which really in terms of choreography and just like a fast-paced action scene, that's quite a long time. But that was definitely the fight scene, the action moment of the film that just has you completely entranced. You are completely captured visually by this fight scene. It is probably the highlight of the film, of course, in terms of action. Overall, a story that just I could not 100% get on board with. A majority of the characters I really enjoyed, and almost all of the relationships between the characters I thought were fantastic. This all leads to a great payoff for all of the characters between each individual relationship, and some really cool action. Not too much of it, mostly pretty sparse, but the bits we do get are actually really, really good. I'm going to give this movie about, let's say, 2.8 gambling teenage girls out of 5. I enjoyed myself. Not my favorite Scott Adkins film, but when you have a guy who makes movies like Accident Man, Avengement, and the Boyka films, not everything is going to be, a home run. Sometimes you just got to get, a 2-base hit. I don't know. I quit playing baseball a long time ago, and I don't know metaphors. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget that there is now a Martial Arts Film Freak Facebook page. You can head over there, like it, follow it, comment on stuff, talk to people about your favorite martial arts films. What did you think of this movie? Comment in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day. My chair is making a lot of noise.